What's going on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Today we got some more division gameplay, and we're gonna be talking about something that's been kind of back and forth, a big debate if you will, and that's if the goalies should be allowed to be hit. And this happened, the other night in Dallas, or in New York, when Dallas faced New York. And my thoughts on it are pretty much standard, and I do not think they should be, able to be hit. And I'm going to give you a reason why. And not only do I give you a reason why, but it's going to create more, chaos than the NHL probably wants to deal with. So in the video, Cody Eakin ends up hitting Lundqvist, sends his, helmet flying. And there was no immediate fight right after. There might have been one later in the game I didn't see. However, pretend, Cody Eakin hits the goalie. There's a fight right after it. And that guy's going to instantly get a fighting major and potentially, a game misconduct and, whatever else, right? So the guy that, steps up for his goalie on the Rangers would get more penalty minutes than the guy that blatantly hits a goalie for no reason, right? Now, if you try to avoid the goalie and, you collide with him a little bit, or if you accidentally hit him, then that's one thing. But if you go in on the forecheck, I don't want to say purposely trying to hit the goalie, but if the goalie has the puck behind the net, and you go to, try to go get the puck, and you blatantly run the goalie, then that should be a penalty, right? There should be no debate whether you should be able to hit the goalie or not, regardless of where he is, right? The goalie is kind of in a special position where he's the kind of the most vulnerable guy on the ice. Yes, he's there to stop pucks, but it's not like he's out there in all the full other hockey gear, skating around, playing hockey. He's there stopping pucks in the net. So if you're allowed to hit him, then what's the point of goaltender interference? What would be the point of you not just walking up to him, pushing him out of the way, and you scoring? Like, it's the same thing. Like, if you can hit him out of the crease, cause like an interference play, then what's to stop you from going into the crease and hitting him? Now, if they're gonna make it so you can't touch him in the crease, but you can hit him everywhere else, then there's no point, right? You might as well not even have a goalie. But with that being said, I also do think that if you're going to allow people to hit the goalie, then you're going to create a lot more concussion problems, a lot more, fights and, majors and stuff. Then you're going to get probably a retaliation from the, the other team, going after the other guy's goalie, and it's just going to be stupid, right? With the state of hockey right now, they're trying to eliminate, concussions and whatever. So they're trying to, limit fighting, and, you have to keep your helmet on the ice, and can't take it off when you do fight, and all this other stuff. And they're cracking down on suspensions and everything else. But then you go and add some topic like this into the mix. What's there to stop? Like, if you're going to allow people to hit goalies and not be suspended for it, then there's a problem, right? Now, if you try to get out of the way and it's an accident, like I said, there's one thing. But if you're going to blatantly hit the goalie, you should receive a penalty and maybe a suspension, right? But that also goes both ways. If the goalie purposely hits you or punches you, or, you crash the net and he retaliates, tries to fight you or anything like that, then there should be a penalty and maybe a suspension on him, depending on, how bad it is. Like the other, was it last week or something, with Carey Price and Kyle Palmieri. Kyle Palmieri crashed the crease. Pretty sure he got bumped into into Carey Price. But, at the time, Carey Price stood back up and went down and punched him like 4 or 5 times. No suspension. Why was there no suspension there? There should be a suspension there for sure. Now, they cracked down on cross-checking, boarding, elbowing, checking from behind, all of those penalties. But they miss like a lot of plays, and they don't, suspend a lot of things when they should be. Now, I'm all for playing a fair game, but you got to make it fair all around. You can't just allow people to hit goalies or goalies to hit other people and there be, a huge suspension or a huge fine for one guy, but then for the other guy it's, perfectly fine, let off the leash, and you don't get penalized at all for it. So what I'm trying to say is, if someone runs the goalie, there should be a penalty. There should be no debate on should the goalie be allowed to be hit, or, you know, should you be allowed to, you know, be hit by the goalie or be interfered with by the goalie. There should be no debate, right? And if you do allow that, then there's going to be a lot more stuff that the NHL probably doesn't want to deal with, such as, you know, even more suspensions of people purposely doing it. And then you also have the guys that would purposely, you know, accidentally run into the goalie. Now, when I say that, I don't just mean, you know, give them a little bump. I mean guys that would go in there hard, making it look like an accident, hitting the goalie. So, which would you rather have? You know, people allowed to hit goalies, and you have kind of the teams take it upon themselves to get retribution, and kind of the refs to sit back and basically do nothing? Or would you rather, you know, keep it the way it is, not allow them to hit the goalie, and get penalties for when you do, but then you also have to crack down on the people that do hit the goalies, that blatantly don't get out of the way, that blatantly don't try to, you know, avoid that contact? Those guys should be penalized, whether in the game or a, you know, 1-2 game suspension, you know, with a fine, maybe fine the first time, then a game suspension, then a 2-game suspension, then, you know, whatever else is necessary after that if they keep doing it. Like, I don't want to single anyone out, but Chris Kreider, is, you know, for most of his career has run goalies. I don't know recently if he has or not, but, you know, there was a span of like a couple years where he hit a lot of goalies, and I don't think he was, you know, penalized nearly as much as he should have been for it. More guys that have done it that are flying under my radar that I can't think of offhand should be penalized too, right? It shouldn't just be one guy. It shouldn't just be one team. You know, it shouldn't matter, you know, if you're a superstar, if you're, you know, a rookie coming in, or if you're a veteran guy that's sitting on the fourth line. It shouldn't matter, right? It shouldn't matter at all. Whether you're, you know, you're Sidney Crosby, Carey Price, you know, the top guys, or if you're rookies or, you know, bottom fourth line guys. If you make a penalty or if you do something to get suspended, it should be a suspension or penalty. It shouldn't matter, you know, your status in the league, of how good you're doing, how bad you're doing, how good your team's doing. You know, it shouldn't matter, right? In the playoffs, they kind of put the whistle away a little bit and only call, like, blatant ones, like, not the little ones. They kind of let those ones go. But in this situation, you gotta call everything for what it is. Now, would that, you know, make teams a little bit more angry to be, you know, mad at the ref for calling so much? But they also have to keep, you know, games in control and not just out of control. You know what I mean? So I think that's all I'm going to say for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like. Comment what you guys thought down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback from this, and subscribe for more. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later.
I don't care if they're talking about us.